I do like that when I'm in any city, anywhere in the world, people will come to me and ask me for directions.
People who are unhappy at home, it doesn't impact in the office. But if they are unhappy at work, it impacts the family.
Because that truly is the key for a woman finding that balance in her life where she can live the way she wants to. When you do something, and especially when you believe in it so much, it's very difficult to be keep your emotions separate.
So you're happy I'm married. There's no other concept to it.
Yeah, my kids thought we were crazy.
Radhika, I'm truly delighted to have you on the HQX podcast. You've known me the longest, like 35, 36 years, from a 16-year-old to a corporate exec, to a father, someone who went through divorce, someone who quit banking, went to Bhutan. You know my journey inside out, and you've been a great supporter for me, honestly. And so when we are rolling, this is a debut season for HQX, so you're not the first guest. And I'm really, really happy. I know you're a senior lawyer, Shardul Amarchand, and you have time constraints and you charge by the minute. Lawyers charge by the minute. So thank you for this pro bono talk with me. And anything you want to say, introduce yourself, because not everyone knows you. So what would you like to?
So Manoj, thank you so much for having me over. Really delighted to be here. And as you said, I'm even more delighted to see the journey that you have taken over the years.
Thank you.
It's been a long and arduous journey for you, and you've accomplished so much with a lot of poise and grace, which in itself I'm sure is inspirational to all. And your books, and more importantly, your beautiful son is a testimony to that. Just by way of introduction, I do practice law, but as you know, all of us are a lot more than what we do. So there are many aspects to life that I have been fortunate to experience, which I'm grateful for. As a lawyer, I'm very grateful to be a part of a community which has an ability to, connect with people, their lives, their ambitions, and also issues that they face in life. Again, that journey is a very interesting one, but to put it in a perspective, I think what we do is something is wonderful. I enjoy it every day. It's like going to school and learning something new. And I'm grateful for the team I have, the firm that I work in, which is really remarkable. And yes, though we do charge, we do have a very, I'm grateful that we have a very humane outlook to it. And that makes all the difference. So both as a professional and as an individual, I'm thankful for you to get me on this show.
Thank you. My love to Aman.
Yes, thanks.
I wish him the very best in a new journey. Mango, your golden retriever. Rupali, your younger sister, who was in college with me. And a lot of respect to your late father. He was a High Court judge. So I'm going to dive into a softer aspect. You're a mother, you're a lawyer, you're an aunt, different hats you wear. How do you manage your own emotional well-being across the various hats you wear?
So, like everybody, it is challenging, as much challenging for me as it is for everyone. It's just that I have been quite fortunate to have the parents that I have had, and they've both been very remarkable. I have truly an incredible son, Aman, whom you mentioned, and who is one person who makes everything better for me. So, what happens is when you have in your life people which inspire you each day, which believe in you, and also are there for you to support through your journey, everything becomes so much better.
They
Besides that,
I'm sure he
yes,
challenges
yes,
you.
and besides that, my own life journey has taught me a lot. And as I keep saying to him, I have come to trust life. So,
Nice.
although
Nice.
yes, it is challenging, because I trust life now. I know that everything is for a reason, and I have to learn from whatever comes my way and do my best. So, yes, so it's a constant learning.
Okay. So, Radhika, how do you prepare thoroughly for a positive legal outcome?
Okay. So, Manoj, as you know, over the years, as lawyers, we have all been trained through experience.
Correct.
So, there is no substitute for getting into the details of every case and, understanding it thoroughly, factually, understanding why things happened the way it did, what really led to a certain event, and then to be able to look at the law governing it, the cases, precedents, also the practical reality of situation. Because what happens is, for every client, their objective is driven also by their situation. So sometimes the situation demands a certain outcome, though it may not be the perfect one. It is in the context of their requirements and their situation. So while we know that we can get a better outcome if we push it further, or go an extra mile, it may involve more resources, time, and also the weight. And some people or some clients may not have that time. So we have to make those decisions keeping those circumstances in mind, and preparing for a certain bit. And lastly, at times, all outcomes may not be final immediately, but you may take a few steps which will later lead to better outcomes. So it just depends on the situation.
Okay. And as a lawyer, senior lawyer, you manage teams. How do you manage the dichotomy of being emotionally invested in a case and yet being detached from the outcome?
Yeah, that's a
It's a
good
very
one
tough
actually.
one. It's a tough
It's a
one.
very tough one, because when you do something, and especially when you believe in it so much,
Yeah.
it's very difficult to be keep your emotions separate.
Yeah.
And I think in a way emotions are good, because they help you focus, and they drive you also that extra mile. So sometimes it has been tough. And
Did any case drain you?
um, no,
If you look back, if you look back.
yeah, when I look back, let me put it this way, it's not the case that really drains you. It can be certain situations or circumstances which are, because they just are.
Yeah.
But the thing is, we have to live within the prescribed limits. I
Correct.
mean, you have to work within the constraints and still come up with the best outcome that is possible. So, yes, the one part is, of course, expectation setting, which we try our best with our clients for
Right.
them to have a realistic expectation in light of circumstances, and then we work within those constraints.
And with the younger paralegals, the Gen Zs who are joining your team, um, what's the one most pertinent advice you would give them for a long, successful, meaningful career in the legal field? What do you think? If you were doing a keynote speech.
If I were to do a keynote speech, I'd uh, I'd I'd say that always think about your client. The thing is, yeah, it's amazing how doctors and lawyers, even traditionally, have been always considered as a profession, and
Correct.
even chartered accountants and
Right.
others for that matter. And because of that, as professionals, we have code of conduct,
Yes, yes.
ethics,
Yeah, yeah,
advocates act, so on and so forth, bar council rules. So all of that actually keeps us in check. But
Right.
sometimes what happens is, we are so busy with so
Right.
many things that we kind of forget our core and basics.
Hmm.
And if you go back to those basics, one, it kind of helps you temper down a lot. Also puts a good guardrails around us.
Yeah.
And take our responsibility very thorough, because people count on it, and one mistake on our part can really be very serious for the clients.
That's true. That's true. Um, we've done some work with legal companies, your company, ELP. We did something with the young
Yes.
lawyers in your company, and the feedback was very good. So I think coming to the more pertinent point is, what are companies, I know your company does a lot in the space of mental health.
Yes.
What do you think the other legal companies, law firms should do to foster a more meaningful environment for the younger set of lawyers who are joining, make a collaborative workspace for the older lawyers,
Right.
someone who's 50 and someone who's 20, or someone who's 60 and someone who's 30? What do you think? I know your company does stellar work. So
Yeah. So I think all companies are doing their best to be able to see what they can do for their
Right.
teams, because ultimately it impacts the productivity of the teams as
Right.
well, and how they interact with each other. And our work tends to be very demanding, as you rightly pointed out, and also time intensive.
Yes.
So every organization kind of finds their own balance within themselves. But I think the few things that we can all do is have a lot of have a few activities which first brings awareness
Correct.
within the organization, for individuals to be able to air their concerns, reach out to people for help. Also maybe certain group activities, not just as mental health activities, but also fun, sometimes
Yes.
creativity,
Fun at
because
work.
it kind of brings a little bit of relaxation, which is so needed for all of us to reset every day to a fresh day. So I think, yeah, the organizations can do three things. One is, of course, awareness for mental health,
Nice.
programs relating to that. The second one would be to be able to stress on, both physical and mental health and well-being, fitness. That
Yeah.
helps a lot. And third is creative activities, which could be fun-based or even impact-based. Taking up
Yes.
social causes together,
Correct.
working together. I think all of this could make a big difference.
So research shows, now this is I'm going to add some humor, but it's also true. Research shows there are a lot of young lawyers on dating sites. Is it because they work 80 hours a week and they have no time to meet someone? Why is
No,
that happening?
I'm sure. I'm sure that is one of the cases. See, ultimately, why are you on a dating site?
Yeah.
To just meet people,
Of
right?
course, yeah.
And to be able to have that interaction, to be able to find someone you can
Outside
share.
office.
Yes, uh, to share your thoughts,
Yeah, of course, of course.
meaningful. And because we spend so much time at work, there is hardly any time for us to be able to, outside of our circle of friends or family.
Yeah.
Now, younger lawyers tend to also be traveling from all parts of the country, because they are not all lawyers live in Mumbai or a
Delhi.
city where
Yeah,
they
yeah.
are housed in or they work
Right,
in.
yeah.
So the home is somewhere else, so they don't have a family framework. So friends are their family, or
Correct.
few family friends,
Yeah.
or that may be around.
Right.
In this case, you want to have somebody who would be maybe even outside of your day-to-day
Of course.
circle. And I think a dating site may be simply because they get to meet different people other than the same group again and again.
And they're also looking for meaningful conversations. They're looking for intellectual stimulation.
Yes, of course.
Right.
Of course.
I think I know Aman is young. If and when he starts dating someone, what are the qualities you would ask him to look for in a woman?
So
I'm sure you had a conversation.
yes, of course. I
Yeah.
mean, I think, freedom is absolutely essential for him and the person that he dates.
Yeah.
And whenever he has dated, I mean, that's the only thing I want to do and give, is that he should have space.
Right.
I just feel that, you in another person, you need to have someone who you can be yourself with.
Yes. Yes.
If you can be
Authentic.
yourself with, half your issues are done, because you're comfortable. You don't have to pretend to be somebody else. You're relaxed, the other person is relaxed. And then we all know that we come with our own limitations, baggages, issues,
Trauma,
but
everything.
despite of all of that, if you can have fun and be together, support each other, believe in each other, I think you can have really meaningful relationships. And so I just hope that whoever he ultimately decides as his life partner, it's somebody who they both are comfortable with each other, bring out the best in each other, complement each other, and sometimes 2 plus 2 is not just 4, it can be so much more.
Yeah.
So that's all. I mean, someone who makes him laugh and he's comfortable with.
So again,
And likewise for her, in him.
So they say 90% of your happiness comes from being married to the right person, and 100% of the sadness will come from the wrong person, right? So it's a very important statistic for him, or even having a conversation with my young son, or even the young lawyers, or we work with a variety of verticals. We always talk about it, that invest in becoming the best version of yourself first, instead of chasing maybe a relationship. Let the relationship come when you're ready. Right? And be with someone who allows you to become the best version of yourself. That's very, very critical. Very, very critical.
See, what I've seen, Manoj, that it's not in our hands, because everything is so, sometimes life is just unfolding.
I know.
And you don't have a choice sometimes who we meet, how we meet, who's in our life for how long.
Right.
But what I have come to, as I said at the beginning of this talk, is no matter what, I think everybody is there for a reason. And, as you said, sometimes it can be the best experience that we may have. Or sometimes, even though it wasn't such a good experience, I think there is a lot of learning,
Of course.
It's also about how we respond to life, right? Even in the worst possible situations, even when in the hindsight, if I look at so many things, it's not just about the other person, it's also about us. And my only thought on that is, sometimes we ourselves refuse to accept realities because, we want it to be a certain way, and so our acceptance of taking things just the way they are is not there. And so it's until very late do we start responding. And by then, it is, we can't respond in the most healthiest of manners sometimes then.
So, I write.
Yes,
I
of
write
course.
books.
Amazing books.
A couple of days ago, I wrote something on LinkedIn about the lessons I learned from my divorce some years ago. It became quite viral. A lot of people reached out to me saying, thank you for sharing your vulnerability. Nobody really writes about negative things, right?
Of course.
On social media, especially in a way, I'm a kind of a public figure, so why would I show that side of me? But I thought it's very important that people share negative experiences that make you. For me, it made me. It didn't break me. And there's a very nice quote in the end I wrote. I didn't ask for these lessons, but these lessons came to me, and I'm truly grateful.
True.
Like, I was with my ex-wife for some time, and I have the deepest gratitude because I have Som in my world.
Absolutely.
And sometimes you must have, the deepest gratitude comes from the hardest events. And I think, sometimes people come for a reason, sometimes they come for a season.
That's true.
It's what we
In
make
all
out
our
of
lives,
it. And it's what we make out of it. Every morning you have a choice to be happy or sad. You're happy. If you have a positive outlook, I think challenges will appear a tad less versus going into work with a negative mindset. Everyone has challenges. Everyone will go through death, relationship issues, losing a pet, losing some friendship, financial trouble, marriage trouble. But if you don't have a positive outlook, these challenges will become very hard, and a lot of people then succumb to it. Mental health issues, mental illnesses, etc. How do you protect your mental health? What are the things, big things, small things? What do you do to protect your mental health? And I know you do a lot. So,
So to begin with, in my case, I've been fortunate really, because for me, from my childhood, I've always somehow seen the half full glass.
Okay.
So, I'm like a die-hard optimist. In fact, sometimes it is very irritating for everybody around me.
Okay.
If you're going to constantly, try and see the positive things or keep rooting, it can get a little irritating for
some people.
Some people. Also because, sometimes you just want to vent and you want to say, say that, okay, I'm down in the dumps. you don't want everyone to always kind of say that it's okay, you know, you are strong, you'll get better, everything will be fine, something good will come out of this, so on and so forth. So I just feel that all the negativity, pain, doubt, all the emotions that we go through, first thing, they are there, you know. So I think it is very important that first we should just be. I mean, I'm just sharing what is very intimate to me, what I have realized. Whatever we are, if we are down in the dumps, then we are. You know, if we are feeling angry, we are. If we are feeling lost, we are. If we are confused, we are. It's all fine. But at the end of the day, we all have a finite time, you know, as people, in a day, in a year, in our life, every which way. And I just feel from a simply, even a commonsensical perspective, if I were to take that finite time, I would much rather put it for a constructive use, simply because I don't want to be, you know, in a place where I lose a sense of direction for myself. And so for me, the choice is extremely simple, whether I'm guided by the situation or whether I'm going to take that situation and try to do the best I can in those circumstances. Because I just know one thing for sure, that the situation only matters this much, right? Because we've all been in very happy times. Let's say people are celebrating. There are fun events happening. But we have felt low even in those times. So it's not the situation that really brings us down or up, but it's just the way we are. So I would much rather try to be as brave as I can in a circumstances, and I think be as real as possible, and then face whatever comes my way. And I think that generally leads to a far better outcome for me.
True. So we have this in-house game that we use at Corporate Interventions. I'm going to ask you, it's basically connect, reflect, listen. So you could pick any of this and then pick any card. So listen, reflect, connect, and then pick a random card. What would you choose? Reflect, listen, connect.
Anything.
Okay, so what do you want to take? Reflect? Okay,
yeah,
choose
sure.
a random card.
Okay.
What does it read for you?
What is something you love about yourself?
All right. So what is
So
something?
sweet. I like this game actually.
It's a very good one.
Yes.
We play to reduce the unknowns in a Johari's window, right?
This is lovely. So what I love about myself is there is, even I am sometimes wonderstruck by myself.
Oh, okay.
It's kind of a funny thing to say, but you know, I have realized that human nature and capacity is so vast. And when I say I'm wonderstruck to myself, is because at some level we all do realize that no matter what you say, that, you know, I've done this, this is achieved and all of that. It's simply because we have been fortunate enough to be inspired, to have those opportunities to do. So I've come to understand that, you know, we are a lot of expression of everything that flows through us. So the capacity to think a certain way or feel a certain way or do certain things, that happens not just by me, but whatever that enables me to do it, sometimes brings a lot of surprise. So what I love about myself is discovering new aspects of my own life, about me, and the joy of sharing it with all my loved ones. So that's what I enjoy about myself.
So if you were to write a book on your life, what would the title be? Say I read a book, joint memoir on your life. What do you think would the title be? Have you thought about it?
No, I haven't, but I'd say what an adventure.
Oh, that's a nice one. That's a nice one. All right.
It has been.
So you've read my books. I'm going to give you a copy of my latest book. I hope you enjoy reading.
Thank you so much. You know, I've always enjoyed receiving your books, and you make even the inscription so beautiful. So thank you.
So it's a book
A lot of effort.
on mental health, mindfulness, minimalism. It's a lovely coffee table book.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
And before you go, is there any key advice you want to give to young lawyers or young Gen Zs or whatever, right? I mean, it's not restricted to lawyers. Anything you want to talk
No,
about?
the only thing that I'd like to say is, you know, to love what you do, because
Nice,
you know, when you
nice.
love what you do it so well.
True.
And then, you know, not to take things too seriously, because you have to be able to look at every day fresh. It's okay. I mean, you know, we are all learning. No one's perfect. We can only try our best. But as long as we do it with all heart
True.
and do it sincerely,
Yeah.
you know, I think earnestness is a lot. So just that, to love what you do and do it honestly. That's it.
Wow. Like Steve Jobs says, he used to say,
Okay.
you must love what you do.
Okay. Yes,
You
I'm
must
sure
love what you do.
for him, it
Then
clearly was
work
that.
is not a chore anymore, right?
Yeah,
Then you
yeah,
enjoy coming.
yeah.
Okay, I love working at SAM, and I want to go every Monday morning,
Yeah.
charged up,
Absolutely.
rather than be
Every day.
every day. It's a
Yeah,
Monday
yeah,
blues
yeah.
typically.
No.
So it should not be something that, okay, Sam is paying me X, that's why I must work there. No, it must be something that Sam is making me a better lawyer. I'm learning better. I'm learning about the world. I'm making my client's life better.
Yeah.
And that's a
No,
perspective.
Just one other thing in addition to what you just said is, see, all of those things and more are there, but it's not that. It's just that all of us have something to do,
Of
right?
course,
When you
yeah.
wake up. And if this is the way I can contribute
Yeah.
professionally,
Yes.
then I'm doing this now.
Right.
And I want to do it well. Why
Yeah.
won't I want to do it well? So wherever I am, I would want to do it
So
well.
we have a work calendar where we explain Japanese concepts. So there's something I picked for you before you came. It's called Kokoro. I don't know if you know what
No,
Kokoro
no,
means.
I don't.
So I'm going to read it for you. It's a Japanese concept that merges the meanings of heart, mind, and spirit into a single term, capturing an essence that encompasses emotions, thoughts, and the innermost self. Kokoro signifies an inseparable unity, reflecting one's core intentions and spiritual depth. I thought this was
Wow.
very apt for you, and I picked it before you
No,
came.
that's so kind.
Yeah,
That's
so I
so
wanted
kind.
to read this before.
No, thank
to
you
sum
so
it up.
much. And you know, in our Indian scriptures,
Yes.
yoga
Yes.
is essentially this.
Yeah, I
Because
know, I know.
Yoga is to connect
Correct.
at all levels of
Absolutely.
existence. So thank you so much, and thank you for having me here, because this has been a wonderful experience.
Our pleasure. Thank you.
Thank you.